thank the parish for letting us use space. If this turns out to be the normal place we meet, we'll change the website, the following website, to reflect this address. So members of the public, who don't normally attend this meeting can attend. For those of you who I haven't met, I've been the commanding officer of the 9-4 precinct now for about 2 months, a little over 2 months, since November 8th. It's my pleasure to be here. I look forward to a great year. To give you a recap of the crime trends of 2010, unfortunately, we did experience an increase in crime for the year, which was just at about 7% from 2010 versus 2009. That actually puts us at the same level of crime as we were in 2008. 2009 happened to be a sort of banner year when it came to crime reduction, not only for our command, but for the whole precinct, the whole city. In saying that, it's important to note that even though our crime was up by 7%, we made about 33% more arrests here in the 9-4 precinct. I think that's a tribute to the men and women who work there. One of the trends we've seen that were significant for 2010 were the number of car break-ins, which have occurred. We've made some very good arrests in those types of things in the last month or so. It tends to be one of those things that keeps on coming up from time to time. People leave their property in cars, not to blame certainly the victim. I don't think the average person walks past a car on the street and goes, "Hey, look, there's a cell phone, I can break into the car." The guys are out there looking for it. But we've done some good work on that. One of the other problems we did have towards the end of 2010 were burglaries. We saw a spike in burglaries in certain parts of the precinct. Many of you might have heard a few burglaries occurred on Manhattan Street, some of them in the same building. Although that was established as a pattern, that pattern is what we call dormant. There haven't been more burglaries like that. We haven't quite arrested the person for those burglaries, but we have seen an increase in the number of burglary arrests we've made by our personnel. Personnel-wise, one of the things what is good for us, we just received 10 new police officers assigned to the precinct to increase the number of cops we have. That was a result of the last academy class, which graduated in very late December. Traditionally, those new recruits go to what we call impact zones. Impact zones are some high crime areas where we flood a certain number of police officers to work. The police officers who are in those impact zones for the last 9 months to a year then come out and filter down into precincts which aren't impact zones. As I said, even though crime was up for us 7%, that still puts us, the amount of crime we've had, when I speak of amount of crime, I mean felony crimes, puts us at about the top, which is the bottom 12 precincts in the city for the level of crime. So we're fortunate enough that Greenpoint and the 9-4 precinct is one of the lower crime precincts in the city, which is fantastic. Well, it still is. It's still about numbers we hover around 12 to 10 when it comes to the amount of crime on the bottom, I should say. One of the things we just experienced, I'm sure most of you had seen on the news Friday night, there was a shooting. A gentleman was shot on Monitor Street. That case is happening now as we speak. There's things happening tonight. Can't really mention too much of the specifics other than the fact that he was shot in the head and he's not looking good. So pray for him. Hope he recovers. But he's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead, but he's going to have quite a challenge if he's going to recover. And that's basically what I have as an update. So I take questions from the floor if anyone has any, please.